Hey gang, what's going on? How you doing? How you doing? How the hell is everybody doing? It is Saturday, January the 8th, 2022, and we are a mere 2 days, ladies and gentlemen, count them, away from the rematch from the 2018 CFP National Championship. Number one, Bama, number three, Georgia. Welcome to this week's edition of. Let me let this. I can't do it because I'm getting hype behind the music, bro. I can't hear this song without getting hype, man.
I'm with you. I've already been listening to it too all weekend.
Oh man, GEORGIA. Anyway, number one. Stop it. It's gonna do it again. There we go. I need to. I need to fire the sound guy. Oh wait, that's
Settle down now. Settle down.
Well, welcome to this week's edition of This Week at SEC Football. I am your guy, Mr. Fingers, coming to you from Zagna Central. And that guy right there, the brother from another, the man, the myth, Collin P. Appreciate you. Appreciate you, brother. How you doing, man? Oh, snap. We got people jumping in already. What's going on, Ash? I see you. Ash Swinton, one of the four talented co-hosts of Let's Talk Football. Ladies, airing every Thursday night. They had their debut on Thursday. They did a bomb show. This show is all women, and they're talking pro football, and they know their stuff, and they're good. They're very good at it. Y'all need to give that a chance.
I was able to catch a piece of that. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it really much. I did.
Yeah, ladies. Yeah, y'all did a good job. Y'all did a very good job.
Fantastic job.
Y'all did an awesome job. It's Ash, it's Kate, it's Janae, it's Delilah. And the four of them get on there and they get to cutting up, man. So y'all need to definitely check them out. But again, it's my man Collin P right there, bruh. I can't believe we gotta wait another couple days, man. I really can't.
Man, it's been hard enough waiting a week. We gotta keep it. Just keeps on getting, it is getting shorter and shorter, but it seems like it's getting longer and longer the more we wait, though.
Yeah, who you telling, man? It's like all I want is for it to be Monday, for me to be off work. I'm gonna get off work. I'm going to have all my snacks. I'm going to run grab them tomorrow, get them all set up. We're going to set up in front of the TV, and we're going to get all up in it. We're going to get all up in it. I'm going to play everything. I know we're not the home team. I'm going to play the Battle Hymn of the Bulldog Nation. I'm going to play Go Georgia Bulldogs. I might find Who's That coming down the track. I'm all of it. I'm going to be in the house in all my red and black. All of my neighbors, if you happen to be watching, I'm giving you the heads up now. You're going to hear a lot of barking and yelling coming from this residence.
Might as well find something to do that night because there's going to be a party around your neighborhood, huh?
Oh, we could be all up in it in the crib right here. We are, for sure. So, hey, man, let's go ahead and get to it, Doc. Let's go ahead and get to it for real. We know that we haven't won since 2007. We have not beat Bama since 2007. We did have a little bit of a streak going. We beat them 3 times between 2002 and 2007. But the last quarterback to win a matchup between the Dogs and the Tide was our guy, Matt Stafford, starting quarterback for the LA Rams. Who, by the way,
Kirby wrong, but the last time we played him in 2007 and Stafford beat him. But I believe it wasn't Aaron Murray our quarterback, or no? Who was it? It wasn't Aaron Murray. I've been waiting early, but it was when we played when blackout, when we wore our black jersey and proceeded to get smoked. And I can't remember if it was against Alabama where the streak started. Our streak of our losing streak started, but I can't remember the time after 2007 when we played them again. I don't know how long or short it was. I can't remember.
Wow. I can definitely go ahead and pull that up. That will not be an issue.
But I just know it's been a while. It has been a very much uncomfortable while, to say the very least. Tired of getting beat by them, man.
Yeah, you're not alone, my friend. You are not alone at all. And definitely hoping to pull off the big win. So we had the last streak we beat them in 2002 in Tuscaloosa, in 2010 in Athens, and 2007 in Tuscaloosa, which ironically the score of that game was 26-23, and it was an overtime win. Sounds a little familiar, doesn't it?
Yes, it does. It sure
sounds a little familiar. So they have 1, 2, 4, 6. We have lost to them 7 times in the last 7 matchups. So
God, that hurts.
yeah, not a good look. And let's be real, the Bama program has been dominant for a very long time. I mean,
Yeah, but let's be
we're
real. It's
going.
not like we've been out of those games, man. I mean, like we've found a way to shoot ourselves in the foot. We've been up in several of those games. You know, we haven't been like annihilated by them like other teams have. You know, it's just we've found a way to lose, in my opinion. But you're right, though. I mean, they have been the marquee team for quite some time. I mean, I'm not going to put anything. You know,
I mean, just for frame of reference, the current standing in the rivalry is 42-25-4 with Alabama, with a very decisive lead in the rivalry. You said some of them were close. Yes, they were, but let's just go through the last 7, shall we? 2008 in Athens, that was an 11-point loss, 41-30. 2012 in Atlanta in the SEC Championship, that was a 4-point loss, so that one was a little close. 2015 in Athens, that was a 28-point loss, 38-10. Yeah, and the last 2 have been lost by the exact same score, 41-24. With Georgia being the home game for both of those games. So it is what it is. I mean, there's not a whole lot you can say about it. Bama has been one of the preeminent dominant programs in the country for many years, and this rivalry goes back to 1895. November 2nd, 1895. That was when we first started playing ball, I believe it was. I think that's when the program first started. So you're talking, and we won that one 30-6. And this was before the invention of the forward pass. This is just 3 yards in a cloud of dust. 1895.
That wasn't the leather helmets days, right? that wasn't around in there.
That was before the days of leather helmets and MRIs and us knowing about CTE. That was when football was a very, I mean, it was a very fatal game to play. It's very, very brutal game to play. But so we got to get this win, man. We got to get this win. It took 4 years to get back here. We got an all new cast here, except for Stetson. Stetson, I think, is the lone wolf left from that era, because remember, he was the backup guy for Stets. He was a backup guy for Fromm.
Right.
Yeah. So he's the last of the Mohicans left from the era. So he's got to carry the banner in the war, so to speak. Yep. Those of you that are watching us, thank you so much for tuning in this week in SEC football. I'm Mr. Fingers. That guy right there is Collin P. If you're watching and you like what you see, please be so kind is to click the like button and subscribe. We do a video at least one every week. This will probably be the last one for a couple of weeks. We'll take a break after the national championship. We'll probably come back and talk about either what went right, hopefully what went right, or possibly what went wrong. But we're gonna believe for what went right this go around. So let's just go ahead and get into it, man. Let's just peel the onions back. Let's go ahead and jump straight into it and just address the issue that everybody has been talking about. And that issue is one Stetson, the mailman Bennett.
Yeah.
Can he win? Can he get it done? And that I mean, you and I are both in a lot of the same groups on social media, and the fan base. Yeah, you laughing because it's funny. Those of you that do not know, the University of Georgia Bulldogs football program fan base on the internet is very divided, and I won't even say right down the middle. It's more like a 75-25 split against Stetson Bennett.
It certainly seems that way. But I mean, actually, just here recently, I don't know if you've seen that, but I've just been going through. I think a lot of the people that are, just tired of hearing the same. That's the thing with me is just I'm tired of beating a dead horse. I mean, like everybody knows at this point, everybody knows what he needs to do. He knows what he needs to do. He knows that everybody knows that that we can't do what we did last time we played them. And you'd have people go in there and post the same stuff over and over and over and over again. It gets tired, and but yeah, to your point, yeah, it's amazing to me. I laugh because it actually is comical. Because I mean, I'm like, come on, These are some of the same people that post every day. I mean, you got to wonder if they, just posting for the, just for the likes and the comments and whatever, what have you. But I mean, God help them if they actually feel the way they do when they post like that. It's just, it's got to be a rough life.
It is, bro. It is. I mean, honestly, and it's one of two posts: Stetson Bennett sucks or fire Kirby Smart.
Yeah, right. Yeah. That one especially. Yeah, I can't believe that one. That was crazy.
Yeah, like and realistically speaking, before we jump into Stetson, let's go ahead and talk about Kirby Smart showing. Kirby Smart in his 6th year is now taking the Dogs to their 2nd national championship.
Yeah.
Has participated in the SEC championship game, the playoffs every year except last year.
I believe that's correct.
His first year and last year. And some has had the team in a position to get into the playoffs, at least in the conference championship game. Has won the East, now has a stranglehold on the East. We are now the team to beat in the SEC East. And I keep telling people, you got to calm your nerves. And why you got to calm your nerves is really pretty simple, because it took Vince Dooley, the people that want to fire Kirby Smart are the same people that love Vince Dooley. You can't say a bad word about Vince Dooley. You can't sneeze in Vince Dooley's direction. Vince Dooley is a football god to the folks that root for the guys in the red and black. Vince Dooley hasn't paid for anything to eat in Georgia in 42 years. I'm sure he has, but I'm just saying.
No good. Your money's no good here, Mister.
Yeah, your money's no good here, Mr. Dooley. You know how long it took? It took Vince Dooley over a decade once he became the coach to win a national championship. Now, we're also talking a different era. There was no social media. There was no I want everything and I want it right now. Like, that's the attitude. It's like schools bring a new coach in, they're expecting to be in the national championship contention within 2 years, regardless of the fact that now with the advent of the transfer portal, you're bringing a new coach, the kids don't like him, half the kids transfer out. That coach has got to work on. So you throw his first year's recruiting class out the window. You got to give a coach almost at least 6 years minimum in this era. You got to give him at least a minimum of 6 years to see if he can build something. You know what I mean? Because even you get a couple kids in the portal and they're not up to snuff and they don't start and they transfer out and other guys follow behind them because that's our, it's. I'm telling you, it took Vince Dooley over a decade to win that one championship in 1980. Yep. Over a decade. So what makes you think that Kirby Smart can get it done in 6 years? I'm not saying that he can't.
Right, but it is.
I definitely think this is the year he gets it done. But I'm not mad at you. Those of you that are on the other side of the fence and you want him fired, and to the guy who started the GoFundMe, you know what? I'm kind of curious. I'm going to look that up while I'm talking to you. The fire Kirby Smart.
I can't believe they would actually put that go. Well, I guess I'm not that surprised. I'm surprised that GoFundMe has actually let that fly. But then again, it is what it is.
Yeah, I really can't. I don't even know if it's still up or not.
Yeah. Well, 1 point. What was it? How much was it? 15 million.
Yeah. For those of you that are a little lost, there's a fan that went out and started a GoFundMe with a $15 million goal, with the entire intent to have Kirby Smart, to buy Kirby Smart out of his contract. Like, you know what I'm saying? If I'm the coach of a D1 program and I'm a coach of a preeminent D1 program in the Southeastern Conference, and a guy just rolls up to me with a truck full of money and says, "Here, take this money, quit your job." You know what I'm saying? I'm calling the Clark County PD. I'm like, who the hell are you people and what are you doing how did you get in my house?
But is this money real?
Why is your homeboy over there eating my son's fruit roll-ups? What's that all about?
Right, exactly. Yeah.
So
that's just a mess.
It's going to take more than just, he's had long enough. Yeah, I got it. I get you. Well, Nick Saban won. Yes, and Nick Saban also came in and following on the heels of Les Miles, who had won a national championship. So the team that he won the championship with still had some leftovers from the Les Miles era.
Exactly.
Now he's a good enough coach that he was able to build on that. And now Kirby's at the point where all the Mark Richt's guys are gone, all of them.
Yeah.
It's everything he's got there is all Kirby. And I am telling you, this team, the national championship team for 2017 is here. The national championship team this year is up here. That's where they are. That's just what I think about that.
So do I.
I mean, and let's be real. We're gonna throw another comparison out there. The 85 Bears. The 85 Bears were not the greatest offensive team in the NFL that year, but they had a defense that was so fearsome. And they had a guy back there quarterbacking Jim McMahon. I didn't know who Jim McMahon was until the Bears started winning, and he started wearing headbands. Right, and Jim McMahon only played a few more years after that run.
Right.
And then he was done. So he wasn't a world beater at quarterback. Trent Dilfer won a quarterback behind the Ravens defense. And he wasn't a world beater, and he's not going to be in the Hall of Fame. He's sportscasting now. It can be done, people. Now the question, but I digress. Thank you. The question is, can Stetson Bennett beat Alabama? And I'm going to let you go first, sir. I'm going to let you have
I don't think it's a question of can he beat Alabama. It's just, he knows this, and I think everybody in the whole country knows this, that he just needs to minimize his mistakes. That's all he needs to do. He needs to not throw it the pick sixes or any kind of basically we don't need a perfect game from him. We just need a minimal turnover game from him. Just moving the ball and we have a good enough defense where if they show up like they have been showing up, then we can hope to contain Bryce Young, enough where we can keep it within reach. And I've been saying that all along. Now we're going to have these plays that hopefully show up. We're going to get a home run ball every now and then that Stetson proves he can throw those balls. He has the arm to throw a 50-yard or 60-yard pass, every now and then. And
definitely proved it.
I think that's the key takeaway is just him. And I think just by hearing his interviews and his him and his press conferences and everything that he understands the significance. But like you said, he's not the messiah to the national championship. He just needs to go out and do his job. And I applaud him for knowing that and kind of stiff arming all the negativity and not paying attention to all the people in the peanut gallery talking all the noise that have nothing to do with nothing, and that's just what they are as fans. But I mean, like myself. But I mean, I still think he's an awesome quarterback. I think he's come leaps and bounds from last year. Like he has completely turned a 180 from what he was last year, and I'm actually proud of the way he turned everything around and how he's played. That SEC championship game. It's still that game still kind of bothers me a little bit. It's kind of like I was in Twilight Zone, man. Because it was just like all that was happening in that game just didn't make sense to me at all.
None whatsoever, man. I mean, as dominant as the defense was, and for the defense to be non-existent, and then to
it just didn't make sense. No,
and then to turn around and show up against Michigan and just run roughshod over Michigan. Sorry, Kate. Kate is one of the co-hosts of Let's Talk Football, ladies. And she's a diehard Michigan fan. They did what they call a maize out. I guess their colors are maize, gold, and blue. Now I know that now. I didn't know that before. But yeah, I mean, night and day. So I think. Now, what do I think? Do I think Stetson Bennett can beat Alabama? I'm going to be 100% honest with you. No, I don't. But with a solid performance from the entire rest of the crew, yes, I think the team can beat Alabama.
But that goes back to what you just said, though. Who in their right mind would ask Stetson to beat Alabama? Do you really think that Bryce Young beat us?
The fan base?
Oh no, I understand. That's rhetorical. I know what I'm talking. I know who would ask that question. But I'm just saying, like, it's a team thing. Like, I mean, if all entities of the team show up, then yeah, I have no doubt that we'll win this game. But it's just to have everything on the same page. You know what I mean?
Right. Now here's what it's going to take, though. You mentioned the minimal turnovers. Another thing that is going to have to happen the minimal turnovers, and I actually want to talk to that because Stetson Bennett has played against Alabama twice. He played them once this year in the SEC Championship game, and he played them once last year. And I think that game was in Athens. That game, I'm sorry, was in Tuscaloosa. That game was in Tuscaloosa at Bryant-Denny Stadium. Stetson Bennett's career stats versus Alabama: 47-88 for 609 yards and 5 touchdowns. That's a 53.4% completion rate, which is not that great to begin with. But here is the telling stat. In those 2 games, he threw 5 interceptions.
Yeah.
And that's what's going to have to – that is going to have to be completely eradicated. There's no way in the world that you can expect to beat. And this is not the best Alabama team that we've seen in the Nick Saban era. Right. This is not last year's team. This is a new team. I was looking at a stat that said he lost, what, 9 of his starters, 9 of his premier starters, all of his role-playing guys, and they're still contending for a national championship. So it's like, you know, and I know some people find that hard to do, but, you know, Collin does have a saying that he likes to throw. To get nope, wrong one. That's
what Bama does, what Bama do.
There it is, right there. I keep pressing the wrong button. You know what? Season's over for these guys, so I can go ahead and delete this video. We'll bring it back next season to get rid of that mustard video.
I hope they're good. I hope they're good next year, so we can still use it.
Yeah. Well, rumor has it that they were that they sold out of mustard all over Knoxville after that bowl loss.
Oh my God! Oh, I thought that was a Ute. Was my bad. I thought you pushed the Ute button. Did you see?
Oh, Ute? That one? Oh no, not that one. Our Utah Utes unfortunately did not do what we thought they were going to do. I think they just ran out of gas. Ran out of gas in their bowl game. Wound up coming up short. You know what? What the hell? Why not do it one last time for the season? To the Utah Utes, congratulations on a great season. I know you came up a little short in your bowl game, but we got to play this for you. One time for the Utes.
Did you say Utes?
Yeah, 2 Utes.
What is a Ute?
There we go.
Never get old. It will never get old.
Ever. Awesome. Never. That will never get old. So we just want to, for those of you just joining us, by the way, we see there's a few more folks that have joined. Please feel free to jump in the chat. Give us your opinions. Number 1, Bama. Number 3, Georgia. This coming Monday night, 8 p.m. Eastern on ESPN. That's a little weird too, man. That's a weird one.
What's that?
That's a weird one. Oh, my cousin has joined. That's my cousin Stacy there. Not the mustard video. That's a weird one for me. Having the SEC championship on ESPN because you know we've got the SEC's had that deal.
Oh yeah,
with CBS.
Right.
So they switched networks this year. Apparently, that's just. I mean, all the bowl games.
You just told me that.
Every single bowl game was on ESPN this year. All of them. Wow. So
I didn't notice that until you just said that. Yeah, that's true.
But yeah, so we got to minimize. We got to get Stetson to minimize the number of interceptions that he's throwing, as long as that offensive line can keep him protected, and he doesn't try to force himself, make a play, like force a play when there isn't one. I mean, worst case scenario, throw it away. We saw Kirby yelling at him in the Orange Bowl,
right?
And going into halftime, it's like throw the damn ball away. Like don't try to force something that's not there.
Exactly.
So
I think that's another thing. He just needs to stop and he needs to not try to do too much. And I think that's his biggest downfall. He tries to force things. And I think he can say he doesn't feel the pressure, but I think he wants to do too much. Like he actually wants to do too much. And you gotta think about it and say, yeah, he probably hears a lot of stuff. You know, he can say he doesn't hear it, but you know, he's got to hear hears a bird chirping. But you know, if he can maintain that and kind of minimize his mistakes, which I mean, you'll have a great game either way. You know, if you minimize your mistakes, there you go. That's half your battle. But I mean. Easier said than done. You know?
Yeah, absolutely. Now the number 2 thing that needs to happen, need to have all the pressure. We need more sacks on Bryce Young.
Yeah.
More sacks on Bryce Young. It has been proven. If you can now, I don't mean just flush him out of the pocket, because it's already been proven. You flush him out of the pocket, he can make plays with his feet and extend plays. I mean, more sacks. Texas A&M showed us how that thing was done. I think it was, what was it, 8 sacks? 5 sacks they registered on him in that game against Texas A&M. They kept him on his back for most of the game, which threw things off. And their running game, even though Robinson is a beast, once they started shutting down the pass game and had to rely on the run, then they were able to shut that front seven was able to shut that down as well. So keep Bryce Young on his back. Knock him on his backside. Now, I think this defense that we saw in the Michigan game is the one that's going to show up this Monday night. Not the one from 3 weeks ago.
Right.
This is the number one defense in the country, the 9 points per game defense. Big Baby Davis, Nate Kobe Dean, those guys. Those are the ones that are going to show up. Your thoughts?
No, and I agree. I agree totally. Like I said, it all goes back to the SEC championship game for me. It's just like that defense. We were number one defense all year, and for some reason or other, we laid an egg on that game. No reason, no explanation that I can give her. I think anybody else can, but yeah, the Kobe Dean and then the Big Baby. Yeah, I mean, I would say I did read something about Big Baby. He said that he was like during last week when he was practicing, he's been chasing after wide receivers. So like he's been getting like faster and he said sorry, I can't talk. He said that it really makes you look at a person's hips, like look at a player's hips. When you look at a wide receiver to get that kind of that mentality on kind of guessing where they're going to go. So he said that he and some other guys on the defensive line have been working hard this week on trying to track down like receivers and what have you, and faster guys. So just to get to the backfield quicker, trying to try to anticipate, the moves of the running backs and what have you. But I mean, you're absolutely right. If we can get to the backfield, I think that's half the battle.
Yeah, absolutely. Because I mean, you saw those guys. I mean, they ran through Michigan's offensive line like a bottle of citrate runs through a Saturday night binge of a Taco Bell party pack. Sorry if that's a little graphic for some of y'all. I know some folks are sitting at home right now. Ew, that's nasty. But it is what it is, and it's the truth. I mean, they ran through, over, around, under the Michigan offensive line, and that's what they have to do against the Crimson Tide. I mean, it's been shown that they have a decent offensive line, but it's not the offensive line. Their offensive line is not up to the standard of past years' offensive lines, but they're a young squad. The number 3 thing that we have got to do in order to win this game. And those of you that are just joining us, thank you for joining us this week in SEC football, episode 21 from season 1. I am Mr. Fingers from Zagner Central. That's my man Collin P. Like, share, and subscribe if you are watching. If you are so inclined, if you like what you see, hit the like button. If you want to share, if you want people to know what's going on, hit the share button. And if you want to get alerted to when we're live, please hit the subscribe button. We would appreciate that very much. We are sponsored by DJG Enterprises, your place to get all of your custom sports gear. They've got engraved tumblers, and they also do custom Afghans. These that you see here are the ones that he normally deals in Greek paraphernalia, but he also will do custom sports gear for you. Visit www.greekgans.com today. Thank you so much for being a sponsor, DJG Enterprises. We appreciate you. Where were we? Oh, the other thing that we have to do, we got to score points in the second half, man.
Yeah, that's and not play conservative. I mean, that's our biggest fault, in my opinion. I think a lot of other people would agree with me, but we can't play conservative. There's no reason to play conservative. I mean, we need to. You and I beat this around ad nauseum. You put your foot on the neck and keep it there. I mean, for God's sake, put the other foot on there. I mean, you have to with Alabama. You can't play conservative. You can't go back to the zone. You can't do. I mean, why? I mean, stay man. You stay with the formula you got in the first half. Just keep the pressure. I mean, we've got enough talent on our teams that can put fresh legs in there. I think I don't think we could. That's another thing. As long as we can keep the defense off the field, you know what I mean, and the offense off, just give them time not to get tired. And that's another thing. That's another reason I think we got really beat down by Alabama in the SEC championship because the defense got tired. That defense was on the field way too long. So
defense couldn't get off the field, but they weren't playing. They weren't playing with the same fire, with the same get after, with the same gata for that. For those of you that have ever wondered what GATA stood for, during the national championship run, our defensive coordinator was a man by the name of Erskine Russell. They called him Irk. Irk Russell. And Irk had a philosophy, and it was very simple. It's called 4 letters, GATA, G-A-T-A. Now, when he was asked in an interview from Sports Illustrated what that stood for, he said, "Get after them aggressively." Hey, what's going on, Nate? Nate Snell from the Big Nate podcast joining us today. I'm going to get with you in a minute, Nate. I got a bone to pick with you. I'm going to call him out on the show. When he was interviewed by Sports Illustrated, during the national title run, he told him that the GATA stood for get after them aggressively. That was the print-friendly version. Was a print-friendly version. What GATA stands for is get after their asses. And that's GATA. So you see a Georgia fan hashtag GATA. That's what that's all about. Because those junkyard dogs would chew you up and spit you out back in the 80s. And now we have the new generation of junkyard dogs who have the guys that played in the 80 going, good God, those guys are just nasty. So
very nasty.
We have to score more points in the second half. Just to give you a case in point here, in the last 4 games against Alabama, our last 4 games against Alabama, 2018, let's just start with the SEC Championship. 24-41, we scored 7 points in the second half. That was it.
Yeah.
In 2020, the one in Tuscaloosa, the score was 24-41. We scored 0 points in the second half.
Yeah.
In the SEC Championship game in December of 2018, score was 35-28. We scored a whopping 7 points in the second half.
Yeah.
And then in the national championship game earlier that year, that score was 26-23, and we scored 3 points in the second half. So that was the key. A lot of that was key. And as you see there, 2 of those games were very close. One was a touchdown margin of victory. The other was a field goal margin of victory. With a few more points on the board, we could have won the game. And that's the other thing is we had to score points. So more stats I got for you here. Courtesy, shouts out to Lou, by the way. I got these straight from Uncle Lou. So Alabama's last 3 losses. And they lost to A&M. We know about that one. It's 41-38. A&M scored 17 second half points.
Yeah, it was, yeah.
LSU 46-41, the Joe Burrow era when Joe Burrow just ran up and down the field on him. That game was 46-41, and LSU scored 13 second half points. And then last but not least, Auburn in 2019, and that score was 48-45, and Auburn scored 21 second half points. Yeah. And you see what the scores were in all 3. The only one of those games, Bama did not score 40 points. So you have to score points. You can't just put up 21 or 22 to nothing and then just try and play conservative ball because Bama's going to figure out a way to score. And Nick Saban is the king of second half adjustments. So you got to come back in the second half and you got to put your foot right back on that back and keep crushing them. Now, Mr. Snell, I got a bone to pick with Nate. Nate messaged me last night on Messenger, said, "Hey, man, I got bad news for you. You might want to tune in. I'm getting ready to go live." And I'm thinking to myself, I'm on my phone, I'm on my computer, I'm checking injury reports, I'm checking national championship news, I'm checking UGA news. I'm looking to see, I'm thinking Kirby's going to come out and say, God forbid, something happened to a couple of our key starters, or somebody got in an incident, got suspended for the team. I'm expecting something crazy.
Yeah.
I tuned into the show. And Nate's like, so let's transition to the national championship. And this is for my guy, Anthony Handy. He pulls up a clip of Charles Barkley guaranteeing that the Dogs will win the national championship. And Big Harry's there. Big Harry's just like, and then that was it. And then he just basically went on about his day. And I was like, that was it, bro. Like, I'm sitting here like, this is a big one, Elizabeth.
Hey, I got one better. You saw that. You saw the bowl coach said that we're gonna win too, right? So
Who's
Spurrier
that?
actually, Spurrier said that it's about time for the football guys to shine on the Dogs to get a national championship. Spurrier said that.
Our biggest rival.
Yeah. So
Our number one biggest rival.
I don't know if that's a kind of a I don't know. Bad luck, good luck. Who knows what that is? I don't know. I'm scared to say.
Well, I put it like this: we weren't given as much of a chance when we matched up in the national championship 4 years ago. There's more people looking at and these are people that know football. These are people that watch football, that live, breathe, eat, sleep, poop football every day. They know what they're talking about. So if anybody would know, they would know. As a matter of fact, I think the line on the game right now is still sitting at 2.5 to Georgia's favor. And the ESPN stat, whatever their stat generator is saying, that giving us a 58.4% chance to win.
Yeah. And Booger McFarland, and who's the other guy? I can't remember. Somebody they're picking Bama. So I mean, basically everybody's going boils. It boils down to what you said earlier. Fingers. It's basically can Stetson beat Alabama, and Booger McFarland said he doesn't think Stetson's it, and then he said he doesn't think Saban thinks that Stetson can beat him either. So that's a big. I think that's a motivation right there. If Stetson, if it's out there that Saban doesn't believe you can do it, he doesn't think you can beat him. So that would make me give me more drive to beat his ass. So,
hey, maybe we need some of that rat poison. Hey, Booger McFarland, I got something I want to say to you, Booger McFarland. Are you listening?
Don't make me angry. You wouldn't like me when I'm angry.
Exactly. But,
I'm just saying.
Or is it people tired of seeing Alabama win every year and want to give somebody else? I mean, that's got to be part of it too.
No, well, I don't think that has anything to do not with the folks not with the commentators that are making their picks.
No,
because those guys are normally pretty straightforward about how they feel, about who has the best opportunity to bring the W to eat a W. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, I got you.
I hope I didn't just curse the team by saying that. I'm sorry. I'm gonna take that back, because we remember what happened. The last person said to do that game didn't go very well. Shouts out to Jameis Crab Legs Winston there. The Saints are still are the Saints still in it, or are they eliminated? I think the Saints are eliminated. Nate will jump in the comments and let us know. I'm sure, because Nate keeps copious notes. Anyway, those of you that are just joining us, hey, how you doing? Welcome to This Week in SEC Football. I am Mr. Fingers from Zagniv Central. That guy right there, the brother from another, Collin P. Make sure that if you're enjoying, please go down there and click the like button. If you want people to see what's going on, give it a share. And if you want to get notified when we're going to be on, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Go ahead and go clickety-click. This segment sponsored by Envision Social Media, the ultimate solution for all of your social media needs. Having trouble getting your social media platform up off the ground? Hit the folks up at Envision Social Media today. They will empower, create, and sustain your social media platform. Hit them up at www.envisionsocialmedia today. Thank you so much for being a sponsor of This Week in SEC Football. Oh, man. The other thing that has to happen, I think, and this is probably going to hey, man, we appreciate you. Oh, man, we got some more folks joining. Nate says the Saints can still make the playoffs. That my man Deep Sea is back. What's going on, bruh? Thank you for joining. Partner of mine, we go way back, like all the way back to the 912. And last but not least, my man Nate says, I thought I'd bring a laugh for the dogs. No, man, it was funny. It was funny as hell. You just had me scared. Look, you're just gonna have to give me the whole story from this point going forward.
Given our history, given our history, we don't know what to think.
And not just a piece of the story. Give me the whole story. Tell me, man, I don't think you're gonna like this news. Oh, Jesus, what happened now? It's not even fair. We hadn't even played yet.
See, that's how sad it is when you get information like that. It's like, man, what now? What can possibly happen now? Come on,
look, I thought Slep Rock.
Oh yeah, it can.
I thought Slep Rock had showed up. And said, hi guys, hi Slep Rock. Wowzy, wowzy, woo woo. That might be a little bit. That might predate some of our viewers. It's probably 3 people watching this show right now that would know about Slep Rock and the Flintstone gang.
I was thinking Droopy.
You know what? You know what? That makes me mad.
Oh, Gene Chizik is being did you see? Hey, did you see this news? Gene Chizik apparently is being rehired as the DC for North Carolina.
No,
that might be a game changer over in the ACC because North Carolina's offense is pretty much on point. It was, a few miscues here and there, but the defense that could be a game changer if they get their defense squared away. Give Clemson a run for their money. Clemson and Pitt.
They weren't no slouch this year. I mean, they were actually pretty good. They were actually pretty good this year, considering.
Yeah, but for a loss here and a loss there, they definitely would have been right along with Pitt and Clemson. Yeah. Because no, they weren't. They weren't in the running to make the conference championship. I think it was them, Clemson, North Carolina State at the end of the season. It was like Pitt had to lose, and North Carolina State and Clemson had to win, and then there was some kind of tiebreaker between North Carolina State and Pitt. But yeah, so honestly, those are the things that we've got to get done to make this thing happen. Now, I will tell you this: they might as well go ahead and rename Indianapolis Athens North.
Yeah,
because I have seen the pictures. I have seen the pictures.
I didn't know. Now we travel pretty damn well. I mean, we are in the house for sure.
I have seen pictures from Indianapolis so far. There have been dog fans that have been in Indianapolis since Wednesday, Thursday,
right?
And and did you see the story about the Spike Squad, the Georgia Bulldog Spike Squad, the Dog Spike Squad? They put out during the game. They were like holding a sign that said "Need tickets to the national championship game." They were trying to get their seniors, their last season with the team. Unfortunately, the Spike Squad doesn't get a redshirt season, so their seniors, but they were trying to get all 13 of them to the game. They put out a GoFundMe or a Venmo or something like that, and Nick Chubb threw a couple dollars on it, and the next thing you know, Sony put a couple dollars on it, so they managed to get all of the senior members of the Spike Squad will be there. I think it's like 19 or 20 of them. I didn't realize it was that many.
There's a boatload of them, but then I think I heard the same for. It was just it kind of made me raise an eyebrow. Uga as well. I heard in the same breath that they were trying to get Uga there too. I was like, Uga didn't need it. I think Uga had his ticket punched already. He was good,
dude. Sonny Seiler. Listen, the athletic director took care of Sonny Seiler. Sonny Seiler's covered.
Yeah, I mean that's why I was kind of maybe I misread that or something. But I mean, a dog that's got his own air conditioning in his own doghouse. I ain't worried about that. He ain't worried about a national championship ticket. He's all good.
That dog lives a better life than I have.
No doubt.
And I have been working for 36 years. This coming June, I got my first job as soon as I turned 15. I got my work permit. This coming June, 37 years. I'm sorry. And I just told everybody how old I will be this June. But at any rate, I've been working for almost 4 decades, and that dog lives a better lifestyle than I do. Air conditioned car. They got to deal with the Georgia DMV. that those license plates will be on hold. No one else in the entire state can order a tag that says UGA on it.
Nice. Hey, and when did yeah. No, yeah, there was an E60 on UGA on the family there. Yeah, that's crazy. They got his own. I mean, it's a show every game day. It's crazy.
Yeah. Ken Ward. I just asked the question there. That sounds like the name of somebody we know from school, maybe, or maybe somebody he knows. Anyway, so, dude, I think this is the year. I do. I believe this is the year. 2017, 2018. I was just stoked that we got there because we hadn't been since 1980.
It had been a while, yeah.
I was excited. I was just excited that we were going. I didn't think. I mean, I'm not even gonna lie to you. That year, I was excited we were going. I just wanted us to not lose badly. Does that make sense?
No, absolutely, yeah.
Because that Bama squad,
we haven't had that taste. We haven't had that taste in that championship. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and we knew that Jalen was a little bit suspect. We didn't know about Tua, but we knew that Jalen was a little bit suspect. But overall, that squad was just out of man. That's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about, man. Ken Ward, Deep Sea and I went to high school together, and his pops was a band director when we were there. Back when we were in school, the band was it looked like it was probably close to 200 kids in the band. It was one of the biggest bands in the city, and his father was a well-renowned band director at that point. And his son is now, I got you. His son's a photographer for the Rome, Georgia News. So
gotcha.
That's what's up with that. But, dude, I was just stoked for us to be there. But I was like, I don't know, Bama. You know what I'm saying? I was kind of like the little kid getting ready to fight the school bully after school. Say,
don't get bruised up too bad. You know?
Yeah, let's not get beat up too bad. And I mean, it was literally, no pun intended, dogfight to the very end. This year,
especially having played them before.
This year, I believe.
Yeah,
I believe. I believe that the men that wear the red and black will walk into Indianapolis, into the Lucas Oil Stadium Arena Convention Center by the side of the road, Mount Zion Baptist Church. And they would kneel before the altar of UGA and march on to that field with their red and black banners held high and their silver breeches cinched tightly around their waists, and they will lay waste to the Crimson Tide from Tuscaloosa, led by Nick Saban. I believe that 2022 on January the 10th on Monday evening, before your evening news comes on, that Kirby Smart, former defensive back for the same squad from Athens, Georgia, will hoist the trophy high in victory as the red and black confetti streams down from the ceiling. I believe that the tears that Sony and Nick Chubb shed on the sidelines as they watched Nick Saban win another damn trophy will be avenged. I believe that the spirit of Buck Bellew and Ashley Scott, they're not dead. They just still got spirits in them. And the spirit of the late, great Larry Munson will rise up with all of the remaining Dog Nation and yell those two words, those two significant words that mean whatever it is that he says at the end. Go Dogs!
But yeah, that was the reason I sent you that article too about one of our, I can't remember who the lineman was, but he said that that Tua completely caught us off guard because we didn't practice Tua. I mean, that was legitimate. I mean, so I don't think we're gonna have that case this year. I think that they have done enough practicing for every type of situation. I think so. I think we're in a totally different situation than we have been.
Man, me too. Hey, bro, Nah, man. It ain't even like that, cuz. This is a whole different. Listen.
No.
The Braves didn't use up all the sports mojo. The Falcons had started winning a couple of games, and somebody got in their ear and said, "Nah, son, this ain't your year. Let them boys get theirs." So the Falcons was like, "Oh, say word? All right, I'll chill.
We'll give somebody else a chance. All right, Braves, you up. But hey, like I told you before, I'd rather have that bifecta than that. That trifecta will come. I don't know. It might be a while for the Falcons, but get that Georgia and that UGA and Braves. I'll be a happy man.
Listen, I'm gonna tell you how badly as a fan I want the Dogs to win the championship. I've been a Falcons fan longer than I've been a Dogs fan.
Mm-hmm.
I've been a Braves fan longer than I've been a Dogs fan. But because I learned about, my first sport was baseball. Like, they weren't doing T-ball, but like me and Papa go in the backyard. And I had that, that giant Flintstone plastic hollow baseball bat with the wiffle ball baseball.
Yeah.
So that was my first sport. So I knew about Hammer and Hank Aaron before I was in kindergarten. I knew who Hank Aaron was. You know what I'm saying?
Nice.
So I love them Falcons. Love them with all my heart. But I would rather see the Falcons where they are right now so that the Dogs can win another national title.
Yeah.
I would. I don't dislike
it. It'd mean a lot more to me. It'd mean a lot more to me to have the Dogs win it. Because, hell, I don't think the Falcons have never won one, right? But, it's been 40 years but 40 years too long. So, I want them to get to know it. Then the Falcons will work on themselves.
Well, the franchise was founded in 1966. So that means that this year the Falcons franchise will be 56 years old. Yes, 56 years old. So in 56 years of history, the Falcons have been to the dance twice and come home empty-handed twice. But yeah, the Dogs have been. This would be the third claimed national championship if the Dogs win. So 1942, 1980, and 2022. I'm gonna go ahead and claim it now. That's what we're doing.
I'll go ahead and throw it out there. We got to celebrate something, dude. I think this is it. It's okay to be.
I'm not gonna lie to you. I might cry a little bit. I might be a little teary-eyed. Are we gonna do a debrief of the session after the chip? I'm pretty sure we will. Come on, Nate. You know we will, man. We gonna come.
Why don't you join, Nate? Let's go ahead and let's get the round table.
Matter of fact, if we do one, we might have you come on because all Collin and I will be able to say is "Go Dogs!" How about them Dogs? Did you see we won? Hey, look at the trophy. We won. Yeah. Me and Collin ain't won a damn thing. We just gonna be on TV. We gonna be TV. Oh my God, we gonna be on YouTube. We won. Like Chris Rock said, black people too happy. We won. Every day I go to my mailbox looking for my OJ prize, nothing. So
nothing.
So we gonna have to say is we just gonna look at each other. We just come on and be like, bruh. Yeah. we won.
Ring.
Right. Oh, sorry, I couldn't hear you over all this bling. Check out my ring. Did I do that? So, for sure, and you know our boy, and you know that our boy will definitely have a replica ring, right? Big Dog, Big Dog Foster. You know he'll have a ring, a replica ring.
I'm sure, and I'm gonna try to find me one too. Trust me, I'm gonna have a bunch of national championship gear. Trust me, I'm gonna have a lot of it because I'm gonna get my fill of that stuff.
Yes, sir. So. That is, what else can we say about this, man? We've already talked about the keys to the game. The keys to the game are really simple. Keep Bryce Young on his back. Stay in the backfield. Keep him sacked.
Did you hear what Big Baby's calling him? What the defense is calling Bryce Young?
What's that?
The gingerbread. They call him the gingerbread man. That's what they
run fast as he can.
Yeah, he's calling him the gingerbread man.
Man, they better stop. They better stop that foolishness. I'm saying, boys, hey, stop, focus. Do like people do it.
They gonna catch his ass.
Focus.
That's another key to get, not to cut you off, but that's another key too. I know you're on a national stage, bright lights, all this kind of stuff, media hoopla, blah, 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 blah. And it's one more game against Alabama. And have fun. That's the main thing. You guys go out there and soak it all in, have fun, and just take care of business. For me, please. Because I want y'all to win so bad.
Man, look. Look here, AJ. I'll tell you, brother.
I don't think we get
we would be at the absolute bottom of the bottom of the bottom of the media list to get to talk to Kirby Smart. You know, I would invite him to call in. We don't know that he will or not, but it'd be great. It'd be great. And the first thing the first thing I would ask Kirby Smart if he came on this show was, what exactly were you thinking right before you cussed on the open mic on national television?
The effing ball. What did you say before that?
Get off the effing ball.
Get off the effing ball.
Oh, snap. We must have talked him up. Look who's in the building. It's Chief Big Dog. What's going on, Chief? It's hard to be comfortable with what happened in the SEC Championship. Yeah, that's the one we want. Yeah, that's the one we want. Listen, you know how you go to McDonald's when you see on TV and McDonald's has this beautiful, delicious hamburger and they cut it open and it's steaming and they put the fries and the salt and it's steaming and it's hot and it's crispy. And then you go to McDonald's and you get a hamburger. You ever see that movie Falling Down with Michael Douglas?
No, I hadn't.
So he goes into a franchise to get some breakfast and he orders a hamburger and he says, look at that burger. It's juicy. It's hot. It's steamy. It's got crisp lettuce and a tomato and a crispy onion. And then look at this squashed thing. See, we want the fresh one we see on TV on the commercial. That's the team we want to show up on Monday.
Right.
Then they definitely will like Jekyll and Hyde for sure.
Yeah.
The difference. Oh, that was the end of his statement. So what he said was, it's hard to be comfortable with what happened in the championship game. The UGA football team that appeared in the SEC championship versus the UGA football team that showed up against Michigan is like the difference between Jekyll and Hyde. There we go.
Yeah,
so now we're tracking with your Chief.
Yeah, absolutely. That's what me and Fingers were talking about because that whole SEC championship made no sense to me and a lot of other people. Because, I mean, that was not what either team had done all year. It just was out of sorts for I don't know why. I have no idea. But
for sure.
If they show up like they showed up against Michigan, and trust, we understand Michigan is not Alabama, and that's nothing they've been posting ad nauseum in the groups. It's like you're getting all hyped up because Michigan is not Alabama. We know this, but it was a good showing, and it was good to see the defense play to their caliber. That's all.
Yes. Like even if that team. The team that showed up at Michigan had showed up in the SEC championship game, it would not have been as big a blowout. Period.
No. Right.
At all.
Exactly. Period. Point blank. That's right.
At all. Period. We're gonna go ahead and throw our third sponsor out here for the evening. Those of you that just joined us, welcome to This Week in the SEC. This Week in SEC Football. I am Mr. Fingers. That guy right there, Collin Peter, brother from another, creator of the Bama Does What Bama Do shirts, which are look like they might be catching a little bit, bro. I've had some people ask me about those. They haven't bought none yet, but they've had some people ask me about them. This particular segment sponsored by the good folks at 1906 Tees. They also specialize in custom gear, custom sports gear. You want it, they can make it for you. They also do specialize in custom Greek paraphernalia. You want it, they can make it for you. You want some, get at my guy at 1906tees.com today. Thank you so much for being a sponsor this week in SEC football. But yes, you're right. Michigan's offensive line was voted the best in the country. You also had a Heisman candidate and defensive player in Aiden Hutchinson. You also had a killer running back in Hassan Haskins. You also had a tandem. You had your guy David Ajobo on the other side. I mean,
they were not
that was supposed to be the most fearsome. That was probably supposed to be the most fearsome defense that we had faced all season. And that team, the offense neutralized the defensive threats. the defense neutralize any offensive threats. And that is what we need to happen on Monday. All day, every day, period. Twice on Sunday. Period. Point blank. Oh, the other question I would ask Kirby if we got a chance to get him on the show is how many workouts can your strength and conditioning coach skip just from the cardio workout that you give him every Saturday, trying to keep you off the sideline? Because that dude literally.
I was gonna say how much he pay his belt loop guy.
He's actually the strength and conditioning coach, so he's probably getting he's getting a 6-figure check, I'm sure. I thought the way it was presented to me was that was a specific job that he had.
Yeah,
like that's all he had was like the get back guy. He's actually a strength and conditioning coach. But dude, watching Kirby Smart on the sideline. You remember back in the 90s when the kids with the tethers, the late 90s and the early 2000s, people started putting their kids on leashes with the little vests on them. That's seriously. Am I lying? That's Kirby Smart on the sidelines, and his dude is Kirby's trying to run on the field, and you no, come here, Kirby, come here.
What just came to my mind is Austin Powers. Many me got me a Marlin. Oh my God.
Come here, Kirby. No, Kirby. No, you cannot have goldfish crackers. Come here, sit down.
Oh my God. Oh God, that's funny. I can't believe kids. Man, that's just. Oh my God. That's a good analogy. He'd have been through like 150 of those though. He'd have snapped a bunch of those already.
Oh man. I can't believe I said that, but I said it. Hey coach, if you happen to get wind of this and you want to come on the show, we will gladly have you on. Have your people call our people. We are our people. So
who's people we got? I got myself. How about you, though?
Oh man,
I got a person myself.
Right. I don't recognize this number. What the area code is this? Athens. Oh, wait a minute. Hey, what's up? Yeah, man. We was not man. We were just playing. We were just playing. Oh my goodness.
No.
So so that's what we got going on, ladies and gentlemen. Number 3, Alabama. Number 3, oh my God, I'm so messed up. Number 1, Alabama versus number 3, Georgia. Lucas Oil Stadium this coming Monday, January 10th, 8 p.m. Eastern on ESPN. It will be here soon. Good luck to the men that wear the red and black. 2 simple words that exemplify the entire spirit of the Bulldog Nation. Go Dogs! And we thank you for joining us for this week's episode of This Week in SEC Football. I am Mr. Fingers from Zagness Central. That is my guy, Collin P., the brother from another. We will see you with the recap show next week. And in the meantime, between time, you all be good to yourselves, be good to each other, and we will catch you on the flip. Holla.